Hey everyone, welcome back to the Startup Vagabond, where we explore startup ecosystems from around the world. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating and often misunderstood innovation markets in the world, Japan. From legacy titans like Toyota and Nintendo to rising startup cities like Fukuoka, this is a country in the middle of an entrepreneurial renaissance. Let's break it down. Japan's economic rise post-World War II is legendary. In just a few decades, it transformed into a global manufacturing and technology powerhouse. But after the 1990s asset bubble burst, the lost decades set in, economic stagnation and a conservative business culture took root. That period made startups a rarity. Fast forward to the last 5 to 10 years, and we're witnessing a quiet revolution. Government reforms, global capital, and generational change are breathing new life into Japan's startup ecosystem. The Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, or METI, has led many of these efforts through programs like J Startup and local ecosystem support. Japan still leans heavily on core sectors such as automotive, Toyota, Honda, electronics and gaming, Sony, Nintendo, industrial manufacturing, pharmaceuticals and eldercare tech. Exports are led by cars and machinery. Imports include energy, food, and pharma. That imbalance is why Japan is investing in robotics, agtech, and energy innovation to fill workforce gaps and reduce dependency. Japan still leans heavily on core sectors such as automotive like Toyota, Honda, electronics and gaming like Sony, Nintendo, industrial manufacturing, pharmaceuticals and eldercare tech. Exports are led by cars and machinery. Imports include energy, food, and pharma. That imbalance is why Japan is investing in robotics, agtech, and energy innovation to fill workforce gaps and reduce dependency. Japan still leans heavily on core sectors such as automotive like Toyota and Honda, electronics and gaming like Sony and Nintendo, industrial manufacturing, pharmaceuticals and eldercare tech. Exports are led by cars and machinery. Imports include energy, food, and pharma. That imbalance is why Japan is investing in robotics, agtech, and energy innovation to fill workforce gaps and reduce dependency. Japan's tech giants have shaped its startup DNA. Sony, Honda, Nintendo, these firms built Japan's global reputation. And now, they're investing in the next generation through CVCs like the Sony Innovation Fund. JETRO, the Japan External Trade Organization, is another key player, helping Japanese startups expand abroad and global startups find a foothold in Japan. The government is actively supporting entrepreneurs in many ways. The J Startup program gives national exposure, mentoring, and investor access. Startup visas are growing in over a dozen cities, including Tokyo, Fukuoka, Sendai, and Kobe. Regional support programs offer tax breaks, free workspaces, and mentorship. Take Fukuoka, for example. They were Japan's first national strategic special zone for startups. The startup cafe there offers visa help, co-working, and connections. Some of Japan's rising startup cities include Fukuoka, Japan's startup darling. Low cost, high quality of life, and a young population. Mayor Soichiro Takashima has made entrepreneurship a city priority. Yokohama, strong in biotech and robotics. Home to R&D hubs and university talent. Kyoto and Osaka. Kyoto brings deep tech and academia, Osaka delivers on commercialization. And Sendai and Sapporo, increasingly attractive for digital nomads and local innovation. Some of the top VC firms in Japan include JAFCO, Japan's oldest and largest VC firm. Global Brain, who focus on corporate venture collaboration. Coral Capital, the early stage specialist, with a community-first mentality. Incubate Fund. They're big on seed investing and founder support. And 𝐼, who invests heavily in robotics, AI, and university spinouts. James Riney of Coral Capital is one of the most vocal advocates for reform and startup culture in Japan. Some global VC interest in Japan include 500 Global, active Tokyo office and broad investment range. Plug and Play Japan, who boast a huge accelerator network across Japan. Sequoia Capital, more selective, but quietly active in cross-border deals. SOSV and HAX, attracted to Japan's hardware and robotics edge. Plug and Play's Japan head, Philip Seiji Vincent, has been instrumental in creating platforms where startups and corporates collaborate. Rising sectors in Japan include agtech, tackling the aging pharma crisis with startups like 𝐼𝐸 and 𝐸𝐻𝐸 Robotics, global leaders in industrial and eldercare robotics like 𝐬𝐮𝐻𝐸 and 𝐽𝐻𝐸. Biotech and medtech, 𝐼𝐻𝐸𝐫𝐞 and others are pushing regenerative medicine, climate or clean tech, green hydrogen, battery tech, and other recycling startups. AI and automation, especially in enterprise and logistics applications. 𝐬𝐮𝐻𝐸, for example, builds next-general robotic controllers for logistics, helping Japanese industry modernize. Recent unicorns and other standout startups include Smart HR, who simplifies HR for Japanese SMEs. 𝐾𝐨𝐵, the mobile wallet and fintech challenger. Preferred Networks, an AI and robotics powerhouse. Upsider, an expense card for enterprises. 𝐮𝐵𝐵, the bioengineered spider silk and sustainable materials. 𝐮𝐵𝐵 is one of the world's leaders in biomaterials, attracting major global partnerships and funding. So how do Japanese startups operate differently? Startups in Japan often IPO or exit much earlier than their US counterparts. Risk tolerance is low. Many founders are hesitant to fail publicly. Founders lean more on government grants than VC money. Teams tend to be hierarchical, with slower pivot speed. Sales and international expansion are often afterthoughts. The upside: Japanese founders are technical, disciplined, and often world-class in execution. Japan may not be the first country people think of when they talk about startups, but that's changing fast. With a new generation of founders, shifting government policy, and global VC attention, Japan is ready to rise again. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment with what country you want us to cover next. This is the Startup Vagabond signing off. Until next time.